अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः, परमगुरुभ्यो नमः, सर्वगुरुभ्यो नमः। शुक्लां वरदं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। यस्यात्मभूतस्य गुरुप्रसादात् अहं विमुक्तोऽस्मि शरीरबन्धात् सर्वोपदेषु पुरुषोत्तमस्य तस्यान्घ्रि पद्मप्रणतोऽस्मि नित्यम्। प्रह्लाद नारद पराशर पुण्डरीक व्यासामृष सुख सौनक भीष्म धल्भ्यान् रुक्मान्व उदव विभीषण पल्गुनादिं पुण्यानिमान् परमभागवतं नमामि। जन्मादि अस्ति यतो अन्वयादितरस्तच्छा अर्थेषु अभिज्ञास्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदय आदिहवय मुह्यन्त्यः सूरयः तेजो वारिमृतां यथा विनिमयो यत्र सर्गो अमृता धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकोऽहं सत्यं परं धीमहि। धर्म प्रोचित कैतव अत्र परमो निर्मत्सराणां सतां वेद्यं वासवम् अत्र वस्तु शिवदं तापत्रयोन्मूलनं श्रीमद्भागवते महामुनिकृत् किं वा परैरीश्वरः सत्योर्हि अवरुध्यते अत्र कृतिः सुश्रूषुरि सक्षणे निगमकल्पतरोर्गलितं फलं सुखमुखादमृतं ध्रुवसंयुक्तं पिबत भागवतं रसमालय मूढवो रसिक्खा भुवि भावुकाः नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयम् उदीरयेत् वासुदेवे भगवती भक्तियोगप्रयोजितः जनयाति आसु वैराग्यं ज्ञानं च यत् अहैतुकं शृण्वतां सुखद कृष्ण पुण्यश्रवणकीर्तनः हृदयन्तस्थो अभद्राणि विदुनोति सुहृत्सताम् अष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं बाहवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठकी वासुदेव परा वेदा वासुदेव परामकाः वासुदेव परा योगा वासुदेव पराक्रियाः वासुदेव परं ज्ञानं वासुदेव परं तपः वासुदेव परो धर्मः वासुदेव परा गतिः कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः नाम संकीर्तनं यस्य सर्व पाप प्रणाशनं प्रणाम दुःख समन तं नमामि हरिं परम। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। विद्यते हृदय ग्रंथि छिद्यन्ते सर्व संशयाः क्षीयन्ते चास्य कर्माणि तस्मिन् दृष्टे परावरे। This particular statement is there in Mundaka Upanishad. A similar sloka, which a slight variation, is also found in Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. In the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, the last line is changes, but otherwise, the first three part of the slokas same. Vidyate hridaya grantihi chidyante sarva samshayaha kshiyante chasya karmani drishte evatmaneshwari. This is from the first canto of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, second chapter, 21st sloka. But the focus that we are going to have on the Upanishad Vakya statement, which says, Vidyate Hridaya Grantihi, Chidyante Sarva Samshayaha, Kshiyante Chasya Karmani. So these are three important things that we are all somehow or the other got bounded with. That is, Vidyate Hridaya Granti. In our heart, we have a tight knot where it's very hard to untie it. We have something which is very tightly tied with multiple ropes in our heart. Chityante sarva samshaya means doubts. And then we have so many doubts whether I'm doing right thing or whether I'm doing wrong thing. Should I do this way or should I do that way? Am I following the right path or should I do that path? There's so many different confusion, uncertainty, and bewilderment that we have. And on top of all this is driven by Kshiyante Chasya Karmani. I'll come to the actual meaning of the sloka, but the point here is everything is driven based on our karma. That's ultimate the truth. Our karma is which driving us to be how our attachment, our confusion, our level of intelligence. Now all those things is driven by karma. But these are the three things that's a hard knot in our heart and lot of doubts and confusion in our mind, and the karmas are unlimited. which is making us go up and down. We may study the scriptures, we may go to the school, we may get initiated also, we may have gurus, we may have teachers, we may have mentors, and still there could be some doubts in our mind. That's why sometimes we see that some people among devotees, they ask the question, same question. You'll be wondering, hey, didn't I ask you, and didn't you ask me this question? Didn't I answer your question? And you're asking that Prabhuji or that Maharaj again the same question. Have you come across this one? I've come across several times. So this question sometimes even we study, we understand, sometimes the questions are still there in our mind. Still our mind asks these questions in always in our brain. And another thing is our attachment towards things, even whether it's a person or whether it's a non-person, as an object which doesn't have a life. We have attachment to these things. And maybe over a period of the time, do a practice of Krishna consciousness, we may our attachment may reduce, but the attachment may get into something else of name, fame, and prestige. We may be free of attachment towards family members and money and other things, but then we may be wanting to have many followers, name and prestige, and so forth. Right? On top of it, even if we come out of that one, the another one is attachment to one's own atma, one's own self. Even that is an attachment. My atma, I am atma. Let me enjoy myself. Atma, enjoying the Atma, that's another problem too. And then our karma may reduce by certain punya karya or by suffering, bad karma reduces, or by enjoying good karma is reduces, or by doing some prayachita, our karma reduces. But still, there are something which is sticking on to us. So the doubts, the attachment, and karma are keeping us into this world all the time. So, what is the way that we can completely get rid of all this thing, attachment, doubts in our mind, thoughts, and the karmas? What's the best way to get rid of all this thing? That's what this Upanishad statement says. Tasmin drishte paravare vidyate hridaya grantihi chidyante sarva samshayaha kshiyante chasya karmani tasmin drishte paravare. By having darshan drishte, by having the darshan of that Lord whose name is Parāvara. That's the important term that we are going to see today. Para, Avara, Para, Avara, Para, Apara, or Parāvara. By having darshan of Parāvara, that Supreme Lord, one can be free of doubts, free of karma, and then also all the attachments are untied by having darshan of that Parāvara. This is a statement that Upanishads say. Now we are going to focus on not the details of what this Upanishad statement says, rather than that one word called Para Avara, Paravare, Paravara. Let's understand that meaning, and that's where we are going to continue from here into the 9th chapter of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam in the 10th canto to today's discussion. But unless and until we understand this term Paravare, then it's very hard for us to appreciate what we are going to see later half of this session today. Para, Avara, or two words together is called Paravara. Para means great. Param Brahma, Param Bhuta, right? Param Brahma, like Para means one that is great, greatest, which does not have anything beyond that. That is called Para. Avara means, literally meaning, it is that which is opposite of Para, which is lowest or cheapest. That's how we go. When you say greatest, opposite of greatest is lowest or cheapest. Correct? Now, Para and Avara. Literal meaning of Para is Avara. Para is great. Avara is not great or cheap or lowest. But there is another way of understanding this Parāvara, Avara. Say, you have a mango tree. In the mango tree, in the big tree, you see the mangoes over there, and that mangoes in the higher state, in the top, the fruit which is hanging on the top. On the other side of the tree, you see there's another mango which is hanging low. Right? So from this Parāvara, what we see is that mango which is up high and another mango which is low is lower Avara. Does it mean that the quality of the mango changed because it is up or down? It doesn't change. It's mango, the value of mango, when you go and purchase the mango, they're not going to have two different of category, the mangoes from the top of the tree, the mangoes from the low hanging branches of the tree. And this is $20 and this is $5. No one is going to say like that. It's the same price, same value. Right? So that's one example. Now you say a flight. The flight which is flying 10,000 feet above the ground, and the flight is coming down to the ground. Right? The value of the flight changes because it was up and down. It's the same flight. Unless and until the flight was not in the ground, you won't be able to appreciate when it goes up. What is the use of empty flight? You don't say that I purchased my ticket to this flight so I can see how it flies up. You don't give purchase tickets to just see how the flight takes off and goes up. You want to get inside and then go up. Whether the flight is up or whether the flight is down, it has its purpose why it is up and why it is down. But the value of the flight never changes. Third example, elephant. Right? We've seen elephant, especially in the temple elephant, or sometimes the elephant comes in parade. You see the temple, and the elephant is walking with such a majesty, it just walks on the street, right? But if the caretaker of the elephant wants to climb up on the elephant, how does he do? The elephant has to come down. It has to bend down and let the elephant caretaker or anyone, the passenger, whoever, to climb up and sit on the top of it. And then the elephant stands up. Because the elephant came down, it doesn't mean that it's lower. Because it was standing up, it doesn't mean it is only great when it stands, not when it sits down. The flight is only great when it's up. It is low and cheap when it comes down. The fruit is only great when it's on the top of the tree. When it's hanging low, it is not great. It's not a right way of interpreting Parāvare. Right? So the point here is para means great. That means that person whom we have taken darshan of, whose name is Parāvara, he is great. And that same Lord is also cheap, is not right way of understanding. That's a point here. There should be another way of understanding what does Avara means. For example, in the language, in Devanagari, in the Sanskrit language, when you add a in front of a word, the meaning of that word which is a prefix with a is the opposite of the original word. That's how it is generally. Then general rule is when you add a in front of something, it becomes the opposite of what we said. How do we understand dharma? We all know dharma. Dharma means right path, religious path, good things. Right? Now you take a, add in front of dharma. A dharma. Now what does it mean? Which means wrong path, irreligion, not following right thing. So we can easily understand opposite of dharma is adharma. Prabhu, you're doing adharma. Means what? You're not doing right thing, you're doing wrong thing. So dharma, adharma. Another example is kramam. Kramam means sequence or order. And you have to do it in kramam. If is very, sometimes we say that he's very systematic, is very organized. He comes on time, he sits on the right place, he reads right, whatever it is. It's very organized, systematic kramam. That is kramam. Now, if a person is not organized, is completely chaotic, that person is called akramam. Akramam. It's not in a sequential thing. It's just everywhere. It just comes and disturbs the lecture is going on. He doesn't come softly and sit. He just comes, makes noise, pull the chair when the lecture is going on, and then makes noise as the cell phone goes on. He talks hello and keeps on talking. This is akramam. He is not organized. He is not synchronized. He is disordered. Akramam. So we can understand opposite of dharma is adharma. Opposite of krama is akrama. Likewise, para means great. Opposite of para, when you add a to in front, avara means opposite of great is cheaper. That's how we try to understand. If we try to understand that, apply the same principle over here, then that's not the way we can understand it correctly. How do we understand? Not necessary when you add a in front of a word, it is always opposite of that word. It can also be something which is different from the original word. This is how Baladev Vidya Bhushan tells also in Gita Bhushana, in his Gita Bhashyam, right? So not necessarily it is always should be an exact literal opposite of that original word. It can be in a way that it differs from the original word, where we can see. This is beautiful. In Gita Bhushana, also in the fourth chapter of Bhagavad Gita, in the 16th sloka, Krishna says this, Kim karma, Kim akarmeti kavayo api atra mohitaha tatte karma pravakshyami yajnatva mokshayes shubhat. Remember this sloka? So Krishna says that even an intelligent person is bewildered between karma and akarma. Kim karma, kim akarmeti. You see the word here, karma and akarma. Completely opposite, right? But then even the knowledgeable, intelligent, great people, kavayopi atra mohitaha. So even the great person who is intelligent, they are bewildered between what is this action and what is that inaction. And Krishna is telling, don't get bewildered, Arjuna. I'm going to teach you. I will tell you what is action and what is inaction. Now let's understand what is this karma and what is this meaning by akarma. Karma means action. Simply karma means action. Action means not simply action, those actions which are prescribed and supported by the scriptures. That is called karma. Simply doing something, going and slapping on someone and telling that I did my karma. No, karma means that which is follows the scriptures, prescribed scripture. That is called karma. Now I'm going to add a in front of karma. That becomes a karma. If you apply the same principles of what we saw so far with adharma and akrama, so forth, then what is correct? Krishna is saying that what is the action that to be performed as per the scriptures is karma. And then if you apply the principle of exact opposite, that which is not prescribed by the Shastra is called akarma, and the intelligent people are bewildered. If you see closely, it doesn't match well. If you're an intelligent person, if you're kavayo, if you're a knowledgeable person, you may not know all the right things, but definitely you will know what are the wrong things. Yes or no? You don't need to really work hard to understand what are the wrong things. We ourselves know very well what we are doing is right or wrong. When especially come to wrong things, we very well know this is not what I'm supposed to do. Right? You don't need an extra intelligence to go to school to understand, hey, come on, you shouldn't be stealing someone's thing. It's very obvious. It's quite obvious. Krishna is not telling in that sense that where karma is the prescribed right things that one should do, and akarma is a bad thing that one should not do, intelligence people is bewildered. Doesn't go well together. Therefore, the akarma should have a different meaning in this context for this particular sloka. Therefore, when you read the Bhashyam, the commentaries of the Acharyas, they say karma is karma yoga. A karma is that which different from karma yoga. What are the different options we have different from karma yoga in Bhagavad Gita? We have jnana yoga, we have bhakti yoga, right? We have different yogas are there. So it's not necessarily that Krishna in this context is saying karma means prescribed right things to do. Akarma means wrong thing to do. That's not what Krishna says. Karma means karma yoga. And then akarma means it is based on the interpretation of what Baladev Vidyabhushan is saying. It is jnana. It's a jnana yoga. Jnana yoga. And also when we see more deeper into this one, we also see there is karma, vikarma, akarma, and you can see all the differences. One is karma, another one is a good karma, bad karma, one karma which doesn't give you any reaction to your actions, that is akarma. You see the difference is not necessarily, it's an opposite of the original text when you add an R to it. That's the point we are trying to understand here for this particular Parāvara. Parāvara. So likewise, Paran means great. Aparan means not cheap, not lower, means something which is different from greatness. This is where concentration is very important because this is the foundation for the Leela that we are going to see. If we miss out this, then we are going to be not able to appreciate what Krishna is doing in this 9th chapter of Bhagavatam, right? So, Para means great, Apara means not necessarily it is cheap, it is something which is different from being great. Now, for example, you want to meet a celebrity, a great person, very great person. We all know it's very if a person is great in the society, it is very difficult to get his audience, right? It is very difficult to talk to that person. It is very difficult to spend time with that person. It is very difficult to get anything to be done with that person. One cannot even easily take a phone and call and tell, hello, Hare Krishna, I'm coming here, going to talk to you, I want to meet with you. It is not possible with a great person. And also the great person will naturally, in some sense, they will have some sort of pride within themselves that they are great. They are great. And they will also maintain their status by having friends and their society of same level, right? You will not see those people normally mingling in ordinary people, common people. They are great in society. You won't be able to see them easily. Even if you see them I was just yesterday, I was at my office to meet someone in a cafeteria area, and I saw this tall personality who was walking around carrying the food. And then I asked the other person, is that the CEO? And that person said, yes, he is so and so. He is a CEO. He was just walking around taking the thing, but no one dared to go close to him and say hi. He was just going, he was just taking and just walking away. But many of them eyes were on him. Right? He's a CEO of such a big company. He was just walking around. So if we know that he's not going to have a common friendship with anyone and everyone just like that. Not easy to talk, not easy to mingle, and so forth. For anyone for that matter, it's not at all easy. Because why? He's great. He's great. At the same time, if someone with whom you can easily reach to, approach to, talk to, call, etc., etc., right? Unless until that person is your closely related person, right? Then that person not necessarily has to be a great person, right? I'm not talking about the wife of a president, a son of a president. It's in a common terms, a common people, if someone is able to easily reach out to someone, talk to someone, and spend some time with someone, invite that person come to home and eat together, and not, that means it's very clear that person not necessarily to be a great person. In this context, he is not great, is different. Is he a low person? This is where the important thing. Is he low and cheap? He's not low and cheap, but is different from the great person. Make sense? This is little technical, but understand. Is not cheap, is not low, but is different from the first person. First person was unreachable. This person was reachable. First person, you can walk in any time. We cannot walk in any time. The second person, you can walk in any time. The first person, you have to get appointment. The second person, you don't need any appointment. The first person chooses his associate. The second person doesn't have any restriction. So that's how it differ Para and Avara. The one who has both this Para and Avara is very rare to find. This is the point. If you're great, you cannot be accessible so much. So what is the easy word for that replacing cheap and low? Is simplicity. Saulabhyam. It's called Saulabhyam. Saulabhyam. Greatness, Param, Saulabhyam. These are the two important words we need to learn. Para refers to greatness. Apara refers to simplicity, Saulabhyam. Simplicity. Now it works much better than saying that opposite of Para is cheaper and lower. No, opposite of Para, Avara means that which is different from the greatness. Greatness, we saw a list of things, whereas Avara, simplicity, is opposite of that greatness, but that does not minimize the person, right? In the world, it is very, very difficult to find someone who's both great and simple. Very difficult. If you're great, you cannot be simple. If you're simple, you cannot be great. You cannot be great. There is always some sort of the pride, some sort of the thing will be within our mind and heart, that even though a person may be able to approach within his mind, he identifies himself as so and so. Does this make sense? He may be accessible, but within himself, he always thinks, I am so and so. I am so and so. When that I am so and so is still there, then simplicity will be limited. It's not easy. You can take it to any personality that you interact with in this world, within this world. Say anyone that you can think of. Even those people you think that they are very simple, sometimes they have this idea that they are so and so. This is where the biggest difference comes. So Meru Mountain. Yeah, Meru Mountain. How many of you, some of you are gone to some hilly station, right? You've gone to some hilly areas and you've seen this, whatever this near California, that mountain thing, Red Mountain, what is it, whatever it is. Anyway, so many different mountains and hills are there. And we also heard about Himalayas and so forth. There's also another mountain called Meru Mountain. Okay, now, how many of you have visited Meru Mountain? This Meru Mountain is made of gold. It's full of gold. And the peak of the mountain is full of diamonds. You must be telling, please, Prabhuji, give me the link address. So we'll be right there tomorrow. So we can take whatever we want from the Meru Mountain. Yeah, Meru Mountain exists. It is great, such a great mountain. But is it accessible? We only heard this thing through Puranas, through the scriptures. We have not seen it. So it is great. It is not simple though. It is great. It is not simple, right? So there's a lack of simplicity within the greatness. Now let's take another example. Now Hari Krishna is walking on the street. As he was walking, carrying his book to do the book table, as he was walking on the street, and on the street he's seeing or while he's walking, he's seeing a straw, juice straw, and he's seeing some paper, he's seeing some wooden piece, and as he was walking, and he's seeing some pebbles and stones. When you see this one, Hare Krishna, do you have a separate bag to collect all those things and put it in your bag? As you're walking, hey, there is a piece of paper, put it in my thing. There is a plastic thing, I'll take that also, this one, put it. There is a broken thing. You take everything and put it in your bag and come collect all those things. Why? They are cheap. They don't have value to you. They don't have value to. It is reachable, it is accessible, but it is not great. Yes or no? Meru
Yes.
Mountain is great, but it's not simple. Whereas the papers and plastic spoons and straws and stones are simple, but they're not great. You see the difference now.
Yes.
But now, after you finish your book distribution, you're coming back on the way to get into your car. That time you see $100 bill.
You take it.
You will take it. I will also take it, by the way. Take it. $100 bill will take it. Now the question that you should ask is, Prabhu, just now you said something which was down, simple, cannot be great. Right? When you're returning from your book distribution, you saw something which is simple, which means which is accessible on the ground. It is not somewhere on the Meru mountain top. It is down here. That means simple. It is also great. Yes or no?
Yes.
It is great because $100, who's going to leave $100? $100, right? Therefore, it's not only God is Parāvara, even the $100 bill is Parāvara. Tasmin drishte Parāvare means if you see the $100 bill, then all your vidyante hridaya grantihi chidyante sarva samsaya shiyante chasya karmani, $100 drishte is that's Parāvare. One can say like that, but there is a problem. What's the problem? You get $100. You go further down there.
$500.
You do exactly. I don't know $500 bills there or not. Yeah, just assume for the sake of our discussion here. You see a $500, $1,000 note. Now $100 becomes cheap. $1,000 become para. $100 avara. You walk further down there. Now you can say, oh, I thought $100 is great. 1,000 is great now. You walk further down. You see a $10,000. $10,000 become para and $1,000 become avara. And then you go further, 100,000, 1 million, 10 million, 1 billion. There's no limit for the money. So that is keep for one bill, there's a higher bill. For that bill, there's a higher bill, and higher bill, and higher bill. Right? You can see that one. Likewise, when you pick the $100, is this the simplest one? No. $95, $50, $10, $1, lower than that is there. Lower than $1, again go back to the piece of plastics, spoons, dust. You can keep on going lower and lower and lower. But when we say Parāvara, we are talking about that which is greatest and nothing greater than that, beyond that. Make sense? And when we talk about the simplicity, that which is so simple, simple, and nothing is simpler than that. Sulabham, Saulabhyam, nothing is simpler than that. That particular object is called Parāvara. When we say take the darshan of that Parāvara, who's greatest of greatest and simpler than the simplest that you can think of the entire creation, when we take darshan of that Parāvara, Pidyate hridaya grantihi chityante sarva samshayaha kshiyante chasya karmani tasmin tiste Parāvare. Then all our problems are solved. All our problems will be solved. Now we can understand that can only be Krishna. No one else can be Parāvara because he is greatest of all the greatest. And he is the most simplest of any simple thing that you can think of in your mind. Well, here is another question. We can understand easily greatness of God. Understand greatness of God. Because why? This entire Jagat, the entire creation, the entire the 14 planetary system, and the under Katakam, millions of this universes, everything is created by Krishna. Everything created by him. Not only he create He also, after creating, he maintains everything perfectly. Not only he maintains, when the right times comes, everything becomes annihilated, destroyed, everything goes back. He's great. We all know this. That's what Bhagavad Gita says, that is what Upanishad says, that is what everyone glorifies. Greatness, para, is very easy to understand. Avara, simple. How can he be simplest of any simple thing that we can think of? How can that we can understand that part? A person who is such a great person, who's a creator, who's a maintainer, who's a destroyer, who's Lord of all, who doesn't have an equal, who doesn't have a greater than him, get bound by a woman. Just imagine, get bound by a lady. That too, the lady is not a yogi, not a great saint, none of those things. Uneducated, simple, cowherd woman, simple lady. What can be more simplest than this one to prove the simplicity of the Lord as Apara? We cannot. For a scoop of butter, for a handful of butter, he begs to his mother. Whereas he is a proprietor of the entire creation, but he goes in front of his mother, my mom, give me butter, give me butter. Right? He begs in front of his mother for a butter. And more simpler than begging for butter is goes and steals butter. Such a great personality goes and steals butter. Why you have to steal butter when everything belongs to you? He shows that avara nature of himself. This both being great and being simple, Krishna exhibits simultaneously. Simultaneously. Having these two qualities within oneself is great. How we can see this one? Krishna ate mud. Dirt shows his simplicity. When he opened his mouth, it shows his greatness. Parāvara. Para and avara. Krishna not only does this one when he was a young kid, when he grew up, he did the same thing. How he showed his simplicity, being a great person, he became a chariot driver. He became a chariot driver. Something this is not recognized great. You don't have a visiting card, put yourself as I'm a driver. I'm not offending or talking anything bad about, every job is great job by itself. But we understand, please understand what I'm trying to say. You don't say that, let's take this one. Amohanam Prabhu is the CEO of the company, and then I'm meeting with him somehow or the other by great fortune. I come across with him and I ask him, sir, could you please give me your phone number or email address so I can get in touch with you? He gives a card. In the card, he says CEO of such and such company, and then bottom, driver of so and so. What? Driver of so and so. What do you mean by driver? CEO of the company, driver of so and so. He will not put that into his biography, resume. He's not going to put, I'm a driver of so and so. Rather, he will tell that what all a great experience he had. Never to mention anything lower. I'm not going to do, you're not going to do, no one is going to do. Right? No one is going to do. No one is going to put in a resume, I've been chastised by my management, I've been fired by my management because I messed up my thing. Does any of your resume, our resume, as all those blunder, big mistakes that we have done in our career? Do we add, we have achievements over there? And do we have something called area of improvement or mistake that I have done? Does our resume have anything that the mistakes that you've done in over the years of experience that we had in our work? We never put that, we never project that. We show ourselves we are para. We are great. We'll never say anything bad about ourselves. Over here, imagine Krishna's resume. Read Krishna's biodata. Everything is an open book. He is great, and there is also a list of things, what all things that he has done. what all things he has done. And he's becoming a driver for another person, Arjuna, another human, another person. That the way is that Krishna was sitting down and Arjuna was sitting up. That itself wrong. That itself wrong. A guru should be on the top and disciple should be sitting bottom under the lotus feet of the guru. They should be down. Here everything was reversed. Shows Krishna's simplicity. And that simple Krishna showed his greatness in the 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Vishwarupa Darshan. You see, in the same situation, he showed his simplicity by being a driver. At the same time, he also showed who he is to Arjuna by showing his universal form. You will not, and when the battle was happening in Kurukshetra, the charioteer, that the driver and the passenger who's the warrior, they don't have much time to converse. They don't have much time to converse. If they have to, if the passenger, the warrior, the king has to communicate something to the driver, the way they have to do is they'll be sitting on that or standing on that, and their foot will tap on the right side of the driver to tell turn right. And they will kick on the left side of the shoulder of the driver to tell that turn left. And this is how Arjuna was communicating with Krishna during the battlefield. Can you ever imagine gopis of the gopis of Vrindavan, when the people of Vrindavan, they've been asked by where it was said that Krishna had a headache at one point of time, and they wanted to have, Krishna said that, oh, the only medicine that I can have is the dust of a devotee, of devotees, which I apply, smear on my head, forehead, my headache will go. And no one was ready to give that. No one was ready to give that because they all know that it's not an easy thing. Right? Likewise, kicking Krishna to give direction, you can see how great Krishna is in the way of being simple. When the two opposing nature comes together, will never come together. The greatness and simplicity will never come together. But when it comes together in one person, that person name is called what? Not Krishna, not Narayana, not Madhava, not Rishikesha. His name is called Dāmodara. His name is called Dāmodara. Aghatita Ghatina Samatyam. There is something called Aghatita Ghatina. Samatyam means skills, ability. Ability. Aghatita Ghatina means that which is opposing, two opposing things. A person who is able to bring two opposing things together is a special skill. Samatyam, special skill. That Aghatita Ghatina Samatyam is only present in Dāmodara or Krishna. In a broader picture, since we are glorifying the Leela of Dāmodara, it's only Krishna who has this special skill called Aghatita Ghatina Samatyam. He combined the daytime and nighttime. He combined the inside and outside, right? He combined everything together with all the conditions of two opposing things. He brought everything together and ripped off the chest of Hiranyakashipu. Aghatita Ghatina Samatyam. Aghatita Ghatina Samatyam. Therefore, Dāmodara, Tani Mudalvanai, Nyalam Undavanai, Āmodaram Ariya Orvarku. It is said by one of the Alvar called Nammalvar in Thiruvaimozhi. It's a beautiful writing by Nammalvar, Thiruvaimozhi. Dāmodarane, Tani Mudalvanai, Jnanam Undavanai, Āmodaram Ariya Orvarku. Means that it's a beautiful thing. He says that Rudra, Brahma, many of these great devatas, even they themselves cannot measure the greatness of the Lord. They cannot measure the greatness of the Lord. Such a greatness, such a person who cannot be measured now is easily captured by someone who is not equal to Rudra, not equal to Brahma, Indra, any of this, a simple lady. And simple, uneducated lady. Therefore, you can speak the greatness of Lord Narayana, but you cannot speak the greatness of Dāmodara. That is the point here. We cannot speak the greatness of Dāmodara. We can keep on giving lecture after lecture after lecture after lecture of how great is Narayana. Because you see the Dvadasha Nama that we have, Keshava, Narayana, Madhava, Govinda, Vishnu, Madhusudana, Trivikrama, Vamana, Sridhara, Rishikesha, Padmanabha, and Dāmodara. Of the 12 names, all the 11 names is quite easy to understand because it's all greatness of the Lord. Trivikrama, what he did. Vamana, what he did. Sridhara, all these things are greatness of the Lord. But that which combines the greatness and simplicity is that last name. Dāmodara. Dāmodarane, Tani Mudalvane. That means they took this particular sloka, the pasuram of Nammalvar, is combining two contradictory things. And what he says, that great one who took everything inside his mouth, the entire creation is within his mouth, inside his abdomen. And he's saying that that person is Dāmodaran. Dāmodaran is one is bound by the rope. You are saying two different things now. Agatita Gatina Samati. He is great. One that great who's been bound by the rope. Dāma Udarane. That person is very, very difficult to glorify. It's very difficult to glorify his simplicity, his greatness. And therefore, let that Lord who's been bound by the ropes of Mother Yashoda be in my consciousness. Let me offer my obeisances unto that Lord who's been bound by Yashoda. Let me offer my obeisances to the rope that bound Mother Yashoda. Namastestu dhamne spuratipta dhamne. You all know this particular Dāmodara Ashtakam, right? Let me offer my obeisances to that brilliant, effulgent rope which bind the belly of Dāmodara. Let me offer my obeisances. Therefore, Dāmodara Leela is not an ordinary Leela. This is the height of simplicity that Lord has exhibited to all of us to understand. That great Lord, how low down he came here to show his Apara nature. Parāvari. Vidyate hृदय grantihi chidyante sarva samshayaha kṣiyante chasya karmani tasmin drishte parāvari. With that, let's enter into the 10th canto of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, 9th chapter. We're going to start the 9th chapter, where those who want to follow can follow. Sukadeva Goswami says, Ekata Rgadasishu Yashoda Nandar Grahini Karmantara Niyuktasu Nirmamanta Swayam Dadi Yani Yani Gitani Tadbhala Charitani Cha Dhadi Nirmantane Kale Smaranti Tani Ahayata. Now, this Yashoda, Mother Yashoda, was engaged in a household thing, and main thing for her to make the yogurt, churning. So she was churning the yogurt to make butter out of it. And at that point of time, she remembered Krishna, and he was thinking of Krishna and singing of Krishna. As she was singing Krishna, and she was also churning this butter, which is yogurt, churning the butter. At that point of time, Krishna also comes over there. When he comes over there, and then he said, Mom, I will also help you in churning the butter. I will also help you churning the butter. So he was as small as Devansh. So Devansh, Krishna was telling, Amma, I will also help you churning the butter. And then Yashoda said, but you're too small to hold the rope. You sit over there. I will do it myself. And Krishna said, no, I want to also help you. I will also help you. Let me also. You do one thing. You hold that side of the rope. I will hold this side of the rope, and we'll do churning of the butter. He was insisting. But here's the thing. Krishna wants to get engaged in something is not out of love for his mother. It's love for the butter. For the butter. So he wants to make sure, Krishna wants to make sure he gets all the butter out of it without any delay. And Krishna likes fresh butter, not with the expiry date. And we keep in the fridge. And especially if we are the one, we'll see I was talking to someone, Prabhuji, I was telling when I was in someone's house that they were trying to add something it, and I saw and found out, Prabhuji, this milk expired yesterday. And that Prabhu said, even though expired, we can use it for another 1 more week. Don't worry. They said they give the date pre-date, but for consuming more. But you can use for another 2-3 more days. No problem. You can use it. So he said that. So likewise, Krishna doesn't like the thing with the expiry date or that which is going to be expired. He wants something which is freshly made. Especially when you make something very fresh, especially like bhaji, pakoras, everything. You don't make puris and things. You don't make and keep it after 2 hours. You don't eat. It doesn't taste that good. If you want to eat, make it hot, right from the pan, and eat it nicely. It will be very nice. So likewise, Krishna also likes the fresh butter rather than the butter which has been stored for a long time. Tam stanya kama asadhya. So now here Yashoda, as she was churning, Krishna was also churning, and looking at Krishna's face. Yashoda was not looking at the butter. She was looking at Krishna's face constantly, admiring Krishna. And Krishna was not looking at Yashoda. Krishna was looking at the butter pot. He was looking at the butter pot. So at that point of time, and the love increased in Mother Yashoda. She immediately said, Krishna, come over here. I want to feed you. And Krishna was also very happy. He jumped on Mother Yashoda's lap, and Mother Yashoda gave milk, her breast milk, to Krishna. Krishna was drinking milk. Tam ankam Arudham Arum Apayatat Stanam Snega Snutam Sasmitam Ikshati Mukam Atriptam Utsrijya Javanesa Yayav Utsiyamane Payasitu Adishtrate. So here, at the time, Krishna was embraced by Mother Yashoda and allowed him to sit on her lap, and he looking at each other's face. They were looking at each other's face. Even though Krishna was looking, Yashoda was looking at Krishna's face. Krishna was as if he was looking at Yashoda's face, but one side of the glance was on the pot. So he was looking at the pot. At that point of time, Yashoda remembered, oh my God, I was boiling milk and forgot about that. As she was feeding Krishna, she immediately removed Krishna from her and placed Krishna down and ran to take care of the overflowing milk. Like Devansh, sometimes you get angry also when your mom does not or dad does not give you something, you get upset. Correct? You'll get sometimes angry. Like that, Krishna also become angry. Krishna said, you've been feeding me milk and you threw me down and you just went away. E kopa sanjata hopa sprutitaru nadharam sandasya dharbir dhadimanta bhajanam bitva mrishashu drisad asmana raha jahasa ayangavam. This ayangavam word is very important. Ayangavam antaram gataha. Ayangavam. Navanita chora. Have you heard this one? Navanitam. Navanita means butter. It is also butter, but then that is a stored butter. And that butter which is freshly made is not called Navanitam, it's called Hayangavam. Hayangavam means that butter which is just fresh. out, ready to be consumed. Krishna like Hayan Gaum. Hayan Gaum, that particular butter, Krishna rarely gets such butter. Therefore, he was waiting for an opportunity to take that butter which is freshly made and ready to be consumed. So when he saw, he became very angry that his mother left him down and trying to address something else. He became very angry. He started biting his lips with anger, and then his tears started flowing. False tears, by the way. It's a false tear. Sometimes children makes this false tear very naturally. It's very, very easy for them to uh, pull the attention of their parents by making all these dramas. And then what he did is he saw close by there is a churning rod over there, and then he took the rod and then broke the pot, hit the pot right there. And when he hit the pot, everything just splattered out of it on the wall, on the floor, and also on the faces and body of Krishna. All the things came out, and everywhere it was just spread out everywhere. And Krishna took and Krishna took those butter and started eating, and also Krishna took some of the butter and started running to a place, safe place. He made a mistake. Therefore, what he's going to get out of it. Therefore, he started escaping from the spot. So he ran away. But he's not smart. Krishna is not a smart kid. Because this is, even though he's a thief, he's not a professional thief, unfortunately. Because if you're a thief, if you're going to rob someone's house, you wear a mask, you put a gloves, so your fingerprints are not on these objects. You wear a gloves and all those things and wear a mask, though you're not being, the camera doesn't capture your face and all those things. Over here, this Krishna, who's not a smart thief, but he's a thief, not a smart thief, he started running thinking that he can escape from Mother Yashoda. He went off place, and over there in another place, over there, here it says that, yeah. Now, what he did was he saw a mortar. In villages and places, there is a mortar which is like a shape of, in a distance, you'll see like an 8 shape. It'll be like this, narrow in the center, wide open in the top, wide open in the bottom. It's called mortar, right? In those days, nowadays, it's so very difficult to even explain what is mortar is. We have grinder and mixie and food processor and so many different things. When Devansh will not understand what is this mortar you're talking about, what's the use? Those days they used to grind everything, powder or batter or dough you want to make, everything is through hands. And therefore, those days women were much more healthier, and they have biceps to deal with husbands and everything. It was much better. So in those days, and nowadays, you do little. One day you cook, you become tired. I am tired, Prabhu. Um, I'm very tired. You only cooked. This is the first time you cooking after you got married. You're already tired. Yeah, in my house, they kept me like a princess. I have to come and cook here, wash pots, and do all those things. It's like I become a maid servant. My father never treated me like this. My mother never treated me like this. And look at your mother is making me kick and cook and kick, all sort of things. So we become so tired because there's no physical activities nowadays. There's no physical activities at all. Therefore, our hands have become weak, our knees are paining, and this is hurting, that is hurting, everything is. But you can see those days women are still actively working. If you have any of them in your family member, I know, I have also currently, even though they are older, actively working. Even though they doesn't mean that they are having not health problem, they also have, but never compromise in doing any of the work. They continue working so much, so it's amazing. But for us, if we do something, we become very tired. Now Mother Yashoda was there, and the Krishna, what he did was he went to a pot. He saw this mortar, and then he made it ulta. It was flat, horizontal. He made it like this, and then he climbed on top of it, and then he started having this butter in his hand, and he was eating like this. Devansh like this, butter in the hand, and he was taking like this, and was eating like this. Krishna, Devansh like this, like this, like this. Krishna was eating like this, and Krishna is very, very clean in behavior, by the way. Right? We are talking about what are the how we have to eat, how we have to sleep, how we have to wash our feet, how we have to wash our hands. 7 times after you eat, you have to rinse your mouth, and we do all this procedure, right, as Krishna Bhakta. But our leader doesn't follow one of these things. Suchi at Suchi, you know this term, two terms. He will tell we have to be Suchi, and he is Asuchi. Suchi means what? He doesn't mind which hand he eats. It is said one time where Krishna went with his friends to pack. Hey, they all decided tomorrow let's go. Let's have a pot. Let's go and have potluck program. All the boys decided. One boy said, "I'll bring lemon rice." Another boy said, "I'll bring coconut rice." Another one said, "I'll bring mango rice." Another one said, "Puliogara." Another one said, "I'll put jackfruit biryani." Right? All those different things from Hari Krishna Prabhu, and all those different. I'll bring Manchurian. All those. By the way, none of those things were in those days. It's all now we have this biryani and all those things. Biryani and all not existing those days. These are all pervaded from different parts of the thing. We adopted some customs over here. But those days were simple rice, simple thing like that. So every boy said, "I'll bring this one, I'll bring that one." They all made the boxes and they got ready and then went there. And Krishna also made a box. You know how? Yashoda Mai makes lunch box for Krishna. It's quite interesting. The way she does is rice is nicely mashed rice. It's not like, it will be very mashed rice. And then on top of it, she pours milk, fresh milk. She pours the milk, not from the fridge, from the cow. She pours the milk, nicely mix the rice with it, right? And then she takes a little, just few drops of yogurt to culture yogurt. She takes a little bit of yogurt, sprinkle on top of this milk rice, sprinkle it, and pack it and send it. By the time they go and are ready for having their lunch in the afternoon, that milk rice, which is sprinkled by little culture of the yogurt, will turn a tasty yogurt rice. This is best yogurt rice. Right? Now what we do is we put yogurt and mix nicely together. But Yashoda does not do that. Her way of recipe is totally different recipe. And that's a high-class yogurt rice. And not only that, she packed that in the box, and Krishna does not eat yogurt rice alone. He wants, he's like Andhra, he wants a spicy pickle. What pickle? Not one pickle. Lemon pickle, gonkura pickle, mango pickle, and that pickle, and this pickle. He will at least have 5 different varieties of pickle. And you know how he eats? Where everyone, boys will gather together. You know this beautiful painting where Krishna is sitting in the center and boys were sitting around him, and they were all having the lunchtime. That's when the later part is where the Brahma comes and steals the cows. That's all comes later part, right? Now boys were sitting, "Hey Krishna, Krishna, I got coconut rice." And then they will take open their box, take off of some handful of it and give it to Krishna. Krishna, "Hey, very nice coconut rice." And another boy will tell, "His mother is not very good in cooking. My mother is great. My mother makes wonderful chitraanna." Chitraanna means lemon rice. "Ma'am, you please taste this lemon rice. It's so very good." And another boy says, no, you take my rice." They all feed Krishna. Krishna eats nicely. And then Krishna opens this box. When he opens his box, and then he takes the rice, you know what? On his right hand, he will take the curd rice. On the left hand, how many fingers? Devansh, how many fingers we have in hand? How many fingers we have?
5.
5 fingers. So in one finger over here, he will take mango pickle. Another pickle, gonkura pickle, lemon pickle, and that chutney, and this pickle. He'll have 5 different pickle on 5 fingers. And then he'll take. There is no concept of cleanliness at all. In the left hand, he will eat. He will do like this. He will do like this. He will eat, enjoy. Krishna, I don't know why I came here, but Krishna was having this butter in his hand, and then he was just eating like this and like this. And there was a monkey came. Krishna's friends are very nice friends. Monkeys, cows, calves, buffaloes, goat, all those different animals of Krishna's friends. So monkeys also comes. So monkey came and Krishna said, "Hey, you also taste this." and he gave they took a butter and then put it like this. The monkey caught, and then monkey also started eating happily, nicely, jolly. Hanuman, we can say. He was happily. So Krishna was, even though he was eating, have you ever in your childhood time, Amonam Prabhu, in your childhood time, when you did something mischievous thing, stole something from the kitchen, which your mother said, wait, but better wait, I will give you wait. But then you did not wait. You somehow or the other saw your mother is not around. You took that vada, pav or something, and dokla, whatever it is. You took a piece of sweet or something and ran into that room, and then you were just eating like this. When you're eating, you're enjoying eating with a fear. Yes, there's a fear mixed joy. How nice that is. But that has a special height of emotion. If you just go, it is always true, when you steal and eat, it tastes extra special. If someone comes and gives you, you're walking somewhere, you're walking in the temple room, in the restaurant, the lecture is going on. The lecture is not over yet, but the devotees have already started loading the trays to serve. After the lecture's announcement is over, they're going to do. And there is one samosa, there is a papad, there is vada, sambar, dal, sabji, and they want what do you like to eat? Which one do you like most?
I like Anna.
Huh?
I like, oh,
Tell me any one item.
what item
Mm.
I like to eat.
What item you like to eat?
Which one you like?
Which one I like?
Khichdi. That's khichdi.
Khichdi. He likes khichdi. Okay, khichdi. Now you see this one, then you go, no one is there. Class is going on. Serving is not started yet. But then you're walking and see, smells. Now khichdi is smelling. And you're looking here and there. You don't know that I already put a camera over there. St. Louis has a camera. Okay. So, but anyway, you see if no one is there, here and there. Then you see there, you immediately take a spoon over there and then take a khichdi right there. Amonam Prabhu's special khichdi. Take a, no one is seeing there and ram and they eat like this. All right. So that khichdi or that rasgulla or that samosa, whatever you eat, cannot be compared to the taste if they serve you. If they come and serve you, it tastes. But when you steal and eat the same item, my God, it tastes so nicely. It says, and Krishna enjoys for that pleasure. So he was eating the butter and giving to this monkeys, distributing to the monkeys, and monkeys was telling, oh, it is okay. Krishna is asking to the monkeys, how's it? And monkey, okay, not like this neighbor house. Hey, this is my mother made. So what? It's not that tasty like that lady house. So, but anyway, Krishna was eating. At that point of time, Yashoda got the pot out of the place, boiling milk out of it. But the time she heard some sound, she heard the sound. She thought she got feared because whenever sound comes, our blood pressure goes high. Because she went to Krishna, left Krishna and she went somewhere. One lady came in the name of her mother and want to give milk, and the big sound, a big sound came. And the end, you saw that Putana was dead, and Krishna was left under a cart. And then after some time, some sound came. The chariot, that cart was broken into pieces. So again, there's another sound. She got scared. Oh, what happened to my Lala? What happened to my Krishna? Some demon came or what? So she came running. To her surprise, all her hard work was gone. Just imagine, she was churning the milk so long, and now everything is a mess in that place. It's all broken everywhere on the wall, and this and that, and everywhere. The butter stuck everywhere. And she was wondering, what happened to my son? And as she was seeing down, she got the clue. She understood this is not demon's work. This is my son's work. How? In South India, this happens. So during the Sri Jayanti, during the appearance of Krishna, every house, they have the footprint of Krishna walking inside the house to the puja. Have you seen this one? From the out, the footprint of footprints will be like this, Krishna's lotus feet footprint. It come inside the house and enter into a puja room. That means Krishna is entering into your house, right? It's beautiful, very nice. So in those days, when Krishna was there, when they were celebrating Krishna's birthday, they don't go and try to buy the print to make, this footprint of Krishna, chuck, 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 like. They will tell Krishna, jump on the butter and run, keep running into my house. Krishna jumps into the butter and then he starts running into that gopi's house. Already the footprints are right there. Okay? So now when Yashoda came there, then she saw evidence. What's the evidence? She saw butter everywhere with the feet of Krishna's mark. Then she understood, aha, this is you who have done, you went robbing all the houses. Now you did the same thing in our house only. So she said, okay, now I have to teach you right thing. So she picked a stick from somewhere. She took the big stick and she started running to find where Krishna was. And Krishna saw his mother coming right after him. And the time Krishna, out of fear, and he started running and she started chasing. He started running and she started chasing, and she was run. How can you catch Krishna? And that too, a mother trying to catch a young child is not very easy. They are super fast. And that too, this is Krishna. And therefore, Mother Yashoda was with this thin waist. It became very difficult for her to run, and slowly her speed reduced. But Krishna was running and her hair was loosened and the flowers from her hair was falling off and the dresses were falling, all those different things. But then Krishna was very fearful as he was running. At that point of time, Krishna was thinking, what am I trying to do here? What am I trying to do here? I'm running away from my mother and my mother is getting exhausted. Is this the right thing to do? So let me be caught by my mother. Let me be caught by my mother. But he was with terrifying fear. He was crying. Sometimes what happens, even before you punish your child, you want to do something with a stick or something, they will start crying as if they have been killed, at the edge of being killed. They make such a drama that as if you will really wonder, hey, come on, I didn't even do anything to you. Why are you screaming and crying? And the children does all these wonderful things, right? So Mother Yashoda caught Krishna, but then Krishna was terrified. He was terrified. He was just crying, and he has this ointment, this eyelash over here, kajal, and then that was black in color, and with his tears was mixed together, and it was just dropping off his ears and his eyes, and he was rubbing like this, like was rubbing and crying, smears all over his faces. Somehow Krishna was being called. Rudantam muhurnetra yugmam mrijantam karamboj yugmena satanga netra muhuswasa kampa trirekanka kanta tata graiva Dāmodara bhakti badam. They say that when he saw his mother with a stick, ready to hit him, punish him, he started rubbing his eyes as he was crying with fear, with his fear. It's quite interesting. And then seeing that his son was fearful, what Mother Yashoda did, oh, it's already 6:50. Going to be 6:50. Okay, so Mother Yashoda, immediately she saw that her son was fearful and she threw the stick away to make him comfortable. But then at the same time, she wanted to teach him a lesson. Because if you're doing mistake, the children has to learn. Somehow or the other, we have to teach them the right thing to do. Because of our blind love, we should not miss out the opportunity to correct and teach the children. It's a very important thing. Otherwise, they will not learn anything. Sometimes we have to teach them in a harder way. There's nothing wrong doing these things. But we have to teach children what the right thing to do. So therefore, because she saw that Krishna was so terrified or he was fearful, she threw the stick away. But then he wanted to teach Krishna something better. Now, it says, na chandar na bahirasya na purvam napi chap. This is sloka number 13. to 14. Na chandar na bahiras yasya na purvam napi chaparam purvaparam bahis chandar jagato yo jagatchayah tam matvatmajam avyaktam martya lingam adokshajam gopi alokale dhamna babandha prakatam yatha. The Supreme Lord, who does not have beginning, no end, no exterior, no interior, no front, no rear, doesn't have a beginning, doesn't have an end, he is pervaded everywhere, who himself influences everything. Everything is under his control. He can see the past, present, and future. For him, everything is same, who is transcendental, who is absolute truth. And now, in front of Mother Yashoda, out of fear, ready to be bound by the rope of Mother Yashoda. This is a beautiful set of slokas, right? Mother Yashoda said, I'm going to teach you so that you don't make this mistake again. Devansh, you're not listening to me. You're running here and there. Therefore, I am going to tie you in the rope. That was Mother Yashoda said to Krishna. You be a good boy. Otherwise, I am going to tie you so you cannot move anywhere and become naughty boy. Okay? Be a good boy. Devansh, will you? Yes? You will be a good boy? Listen to mom and dad. Otherwise,
Very good boy.
he's a good boy. He's a naughty boy. So he said, I'll tie. So she took some ropes that was over there and she started tying. This is an interesting thing she does. When someone makes a mistake, it's not only the person who made the mistake should be punished. The person who assisted that person to commit a mistake should also be punished. Who's the one who helped Krishna in this case? The mortar. Right, gave a place to Krishna to enjoy the butter and so forth. He was climbing, and many times he used a mortar to climb up the seal to get the butter from the ceiling. Therefore, she understood your buddy is this mortar. Therefore, I'm going to tie the mortar also and tie you also. So she tied the rope on the mortar and brought the rope and tied around Krishna. As she was tying, Du angulanam babut tena. Dvai angulanam abhut tena means when she was trying to tie the first time, she saw that a width of the rope was missing 2 fingers. 2 fingers too short. The 2 finger was missing for her to complete the knot. Oh, she said, okay, no problem. She said she went and got some extra rope and then she extended the rope. Again, she tried to bind. Again, the same problem. Again, 2 finger too short. She was wondering what's happening here. So she was trying to bring the rope after rope after rope and try to bind and again the same problem, 2 finger too short. Whereas by the time all the neighbors, all the gopis, everyone gathered there. It was fun time for them watching this thing. They were all watching and they were there laughing. This is 17th sloka. So they were laughing and watching this thing and enjoying this wonderful, beautiful interaction between Mother Yashoda and Krishna. Krishna was crying again non-stop. He was kept on crying. Mother Yashoda was trying to bind, and Mother Yashoda was thinking, everyone was thinking Mother Yashoda, talking about Mother Yashoda something negatively. Look at her, she's trying to bind herself. She couldn't do this one. And then she was becoming little embarrassed. And Krishna noticed this one, that is giving hard time to his mother. He's giving hard time to his mother. So therefore, at that point of time, he let him loose in that game. This is an important point, right? He let himself loose in that game between his mother and himself. The real joy in life between the loved ones is to lose. It's not to win, it is to lose. When we lose, we give joy to the other member. Do you remember this one? I might have told this one in Ramayana, where Krishna, Mother Sita and Lakshmana were in Chitrakutam when they were there, and then Mother Sita and Lakshmana were walking around and during a period nicely, and they saw this beautiful river over there, and Sita said, why don't we go for swimming? Why don't we go for swimming? And Rama said, yes, why not? And then they got ready. They were going to go for the swim. And Sita said, why don't we have a competition? Let's see who wins swimming competition. Well, Lakshmana, you'll be the judge. So you tell who's the winner. So Lakshmana said, okay, no problem. Lakshmana sat there, and both Rama and Mother Sita went on swimming. And then Sita was halfway. By the time, Rama already finished touched that one and was returning back halfway. And then Rama saw that Sita is still halfway. She had not even finished off of the lap. So what he did was he immersed himself into the water. He just went inside and sat inside until Mother Sita came back, and she was passing, and she went in front of Rama. Rama was watching like this, and she went close to that. At that time, Rama came up and he started swimming like that. By then, Sita went and finished the lap. And she started laughing and telling to Lakshmana, look at your brother. He doesn't even know how to properly swim and win this game. Where did he go to school? Yeah, you know what? Lakshman said, you know what? On that particular day when our Vasishta was teaching swimming class, my brother, cut the class and went and did something else, right? He didn't attend the class. So he is not very good in swimming. And Rama was laughing and enjoying. He lost, giving pleasure to Mother Sita. Between husband and wife, there could be situations. There could be situations. And if we take that as a competition to prove ourselves who's right, we are a loser. We'll be the loser. Then what is the great thing that we are going to achieve within that relationship by proving ourselves the best person, the right person, and so forth? Right? Look at the example of Krishna here. The way that he showed his love to his mother is by losing. Losing is not something to make us down. It makes us greater. One should have a great heart and courage to be a loser. It's not easy. It's not to accept to be on the loser side. Right? So here, this is an important message between our relationship. When we voluntarily accept, let me be the loser. Again, please understand and apply this in a proper terms. You may not take this and use it for something else. I hope you can. We don't have much time to go to real examples, but hope you can understand and apply this in a proper thing. When situations happens, when clashes happens within the family, we can take the humble position to be the loser and let that person be happy, and things will change. Things will become better when they will start appreciating that you took that position to keep me happy. You're great. Likewise, over here, Swamatuhu Svinna Ghatraya Visratya Kabhara Srajaha Drishtva Parishramam Krishna Kripayasit Swabandhane. Now Krishna mercifully allowed his mother to bind him. There is one great Arva. Please stay and listen. Let's finish this session here. There's one great Arva by name of Madhura Kavi Arva. This is another philosophical important point here. Madhura Kavi Arva. There are 12 Arvas. Out of 12 Arvas, sometimes they say there are 10 Arvas. Sometimes we hear 12 Arvas. The reason that they classify 10 or 12 is based on one principle, because the 10 Arvas glorified Krishna, glorified Narayana, whereas the 2 Arvas, they glorified their Guru. Sometimes they include the 2 Arvas, make it 12. Sometimes they tell only 10 Arvas based on this difference. But there are 12 Arvas anyway. So out of the 2 Arvas who glorified Krishna, their Guru, one is Andal. You all very familiar with Anda, Nachia, Anda, and another one is Madhura Kavi Arva. Each and every Arva story is so beautiful, but we'll not get into the story of how, what, and so forth. But Madhura Kavi Arva's Guru is Nammarva. So for Madhura Kavi Arva, for him, Krishna is not great. Who's great? Yes, his Guru is great. For him, he says, I don't know anyone else. other than my Guru. If my Guru says this is God, I'll believe him to be God. If tomorrow my Guru comes and tells, hey, he is not God, that one is God, I will pray to that one as God. For me, Guru is God. Please again understand and apply our teachings and principles. It is not Madhura Kavi Alva is teaching something Sampradaya. It's very well into Vaishnava Sampradaya teachings only. Please understand, do not understand wrongly this one. That Alva killed the Krishna Bhakti and took Guru Bhakti. Now you should relate what I said now with Ramayana. Out of 4 brothers, one brother killed Rama Bhakti and got attached to devotee Bhakti. Who's that one out of 4 brother? Shatrughna, correct. Shatrughna. Shatrughna, Bharata and Lakshmana was serving Rama. Whereas Shatrughna, to serve Bharata, that means he has to kill the enemy of serving a devotee. What was his enemy? Rama Bhakti. Therefore, his name is Shatrughna. Shatrughna, one who killed the Rama Bhakti. Again, take it in a positive thing. This is nothing to do with, oh, that means we have to kill. What are you talking, Prabhu? How can Bhakti can be killed? This is just another level, higher level of Krishna Bhakti, Rama Bhakti, is devotee Bhakti, which is not at all easy. We can write and give. Getting Bhakti of a devotee is not very easy. It's not going to come that naturally for us. It's very difficult. When we get close with the person, all we see only is a faults in that person. We get senior devotee, we get closer to senior devotee, become friends and nicely talk. Naturally, oh, this person, now I understand what he is. We'll start comparing and relating that person to us and others, and we make offenses. It's very difficult to get develop that devotee bhakti. Now, Madhura Kavi Alva developed in the height of the bhakti is that for him, his guru is God. So he writes this beautiful pastime, Kannanin Chiruttambu, where he says, Kanninun Chiruttambiனால் Kattunna Panniya Perumayan, Ennappanil, Nannithan Kuruhur, Nammi Endrakal, Annikkum Amudurum, Ennauke. The reason you'll appreciate why I'm bringing the story, Madhura Kavi Alva is a great devotee of his guru. He likes to chant his guru's name, not Krishna's name. He likes to chant his guru's name only. That great devotee of guru, his guru's own guru, even he himself got attracted to Dāmodara. No one can be freed, escape from being attracted to Dāmodara. That's the point here. Why I say this? In this Pasuram, in this verse, he says that Kanni nun sirutambinal. Kanni nun sirutambinal. Kanni nun sirutambinal, rope. You might find in Tamil language to tell rope such a big word or what? Is attributing that rope. That rope is thin, nicely knotted, and is giving attributes to that rope. Tambu. Tambu means rope. In Tamil, tambu means rope. But then how is that rope? Kanni, nun, chiru. Short, thin, and knotted rope. Chiru means short. Why it is short? We know that. 2 finger too short. With that, Yashoda Kattunna Panniya Perumayan. This is another important point. How did Mother Yashoda was able to bind Krishna? It was not possible for her. Therefore, Krishna allowed himself to be bound. That's the point. It's not that Yashoda was able to bind Krishna. Kattunna Panniya. Panniya means he allowed to be bound by Yashoda. The same principle applies to us. We cannot bind Krishna. Krishna has to allow himself to be bound by our love. That's the point over here. Then Madhura Kavi Alva was somehow or the other got engrossed in the Dāmodara pastime. Then he came to realize that, oh my God, what am I doing? I'm talking about Krishna here. No. I should not get into Krishna's pastime. If I get into Krishna's pastime, then my service to my guru will be lost and I'll lose track. Therefore, what he said is, கண்ணினும் சிறு தாவினால் கட்டுண்ண பண்ணிய பெருமாயன் என்னப்பனில் நன்னின் தென் திருகூர் குருகூர் தென் குருகூர் is the place நம்பி என்ற கால் அன்னிக்கும் அமுதூரும் நன் என் நாவுக்கே. Better than that Dāmodara is my guru's nama chanting. It changed the whole program. It changed the whole program, that chanting Nammalvar's name is more sweeter than chanting Krishna's name. Chanting Krishna's name. That's a level event, Madhura Kavi Arvar. Now Krishna comes under the control of his devotee. Evam sandarshitahi anga harina bhritya vasyatha swa vasenapi krishnena yasyedam seshwaram vase. Vase means he came under the control of his devotee Yashoda. Now Krishna became his subordinate of Yashoda. What a mercy. Now Sukadeva Goswami is going on saying, what a mercy that Yashoda had. What she would have done to bind the Supreme Parabrahma. Can you imagine such a Supreme Parabrahma? I was just saying that, as I was saying, yesterday I was just in the cafeteria. I was seeing my CEO of the company and I go and tell them, I want to bind you, sir. And I go and put a rope around him. He will just kick me. I'll be out of the job next moment. I'll be out of the job if I do that one. Just say, this month is very auspicious, Kartik month. I want to bind you. You are the CEO of the company. I want to bind you and take that some rope and start binding. I'll be out of the job. I'll be out. So here it is said, Prasadam libere gopi yat prapa vimuktithad. Neither Lord Brahma nor Lord Shiva, not even goddess of fortune, Sri Mahalakshmi, who is always better half, she's the better half of the Supreme Lord, can obtain the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the deliverer from this material world, such mercy as received by Mother Yashoda. Yashoda was able to bind Krishna, which no one can ever do. So the point here is 21st sloka. We are almost coming to an end. 21st sloka. Krishna only get captured by his loving devotees. Nayam sukopaha bhagavan dehinam kopika sutaha jnaninam chatma bhutanam yata bhakti matam iha. Yashoda, the son of Mother Yashoda, is accessible to devotees engaged in spontaneous loving service. This is a message for us. How can we have Krishna be accessible to us? Is by the spontaneous loving service, but is not easily accessible to others. Nayam sukopi bhagavan, dehinam gopika sutaha. He is only accessible for those who have spontaneous love for Krishna, not for others who doesn't have love for Krishna. Pattuday adiyavarukku eliyavan. Again, this is also from Thiruvaimozhi by Nammalvar. He said, Pattuday adiyavarukku eliyavan pirarkalukku ariya vittahan. Same thing. This sloka, what this sloka says, Nayam sukopi bhagavan dehinam gopika sutaha jnaninam cha atma bhutanam yata bhakti matam iha, is said by Nammalvar. Pattuday adiyavarukku eliyavan pirarkalukku ariya vittahan. If you have a love for Krishna, he becomes simple. Parā. We are connecting to the starting of the Parā. That great person becomes simple if you have love towards him. Pattudai adiyavarukku eliyavan. Eliyavan means simple. Very simple. He becomes simple. Pirargalukku ariya vittagan. For others, impossible. It's very impossible. And then he goes on, this Pasuram goes on saying how he exhibited this by being bound by Mother Yashoda because he stole the butter. Is it not enough for Krishna to show his Apara nature, simplicity, by just appearing as a human being? That's sufficient enough. That is just sufficient enough. If the president of the country or the prime minister of the country just walks on your street, just like that, that is sufficient enough to show that he is simple. On top of it is coming inside your house, going to your bedroom, sitting on the bed with you, talking and chatting and having snacks and watching TV and etc. and so thing. Why he has to do all this thing? Just walking through and looking at me, not even saying hi, looking at you and smiling. That itself enough to show his simplicity. Correct? Likewise, Krishna appeared into this world as a human being is sufficient enough to show his simplicity. What is a necessity for him to be bound to a mortar and shiver with the fright for stealing butter? Why he has to do this one? Is a height of simplicity. Apara. No one can go to that extreme point of showing his simplicity. So therefore, Yashoda finally bound Krishna on the thing. Listen, be chup, 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 say. Don't go anywhere from here. Okay? Chup. I'll go finish my kitchen work. You cannot go anywhere. And then Yashoda led and she went into the kitchen to do her business. Krishnastu graha grityeshu Vyagrayam Mati Prabhu. He says here she went into her business inside. At that time, Krishna was wondering, Krishna's naughtiness will never stop. You tie him, you beat him, you do any. There are some kids, how much ever you do, you give time out, you give this out or that out, send them out of the school. Whatever you do, their behavior will never change. They will be as they are. Krishna is same. Krishna is same, no different. You do whatever, your naughtiness will not stop. So Krishna was trying to see an opportunity to get out of the situation. So he was thinking what to do and what to do and what to do. As he was in the backyard of Nanda Maharaj over there. By the way, at this time, Nanda Maharaj was in his business. He was not there. If he was there, he wouldn't have Yashoda to do this one. Dads are a little soft in some sense. They are also, mothers are sometimes they take this is a tough role also. Right? So fathers would have told, why are you doing this one? So he would have got angry with Yashoda. But then anyway, Nanda Maharaj was not there. And then Krishna was seeing what to do at that point of time. He saw twin trees over there, Yamala Arjuna trees, the two trees over there. Are the two trees. Krishna thought, okay, let's do something. So he somehow or the other, Krishna is not thin, by the way. He's chubby. Just imagine, he is, some people, you go close to them and just touch their chin here, tongue, again, it just start dancing. They'll be like this, all, any part of their body, you just ting, it start dancing for vibrate for some time and slowly stops. Krishna, same, nice, fat, very pushti. And this is Vallabhacharya's marga is called Pushti Marg. They like to feed Krishna and like to see Krishna, fat Krishna, not with all this flute and dancing. They don't like this thing. They like Krishna to be our boy. Is our boy. So in the mood, that's beautiful also, right? Anyways, so Krishna was so fat, and the trees are there. And then Krishna was trying to go inside between these two trees, and he himself got stuck, first of all, because of being fat. He got stuck inside. He don't know what to do. Somehow or the other, he just squeezed this and that, and somehow or the other, he did pranayama. He did pranayama to squeeze his body or whatever he did. Somehow he came out of these two trees. He just pushed off, came out. And then he was just crawling further down, and then he couldn't move any further. He just pulling and pulling and pulling. He couldn't do anything. Then he saw that the water got stuck between these two trees. It was stuck between this two trees. And then he just with great force, somehow or the other, he again pulled. And by his pull, the two trees fell down. Kuberatmajo bhadda murtaiva yadvad tvayamo chito bhakti bhajo kritocha tatapema bhaktim swakam me prayacha namoksha graho mesti Dāmodareka. Now, these two trees are none other than the sons of Kubera, Manigriva and Nalakubera. They have been cursed to be born as a tree, and now they have been delivered from their curse by Krishna. They paid their obeisances to Krishna and they left. Krishna was still there, but then the tree fell. When the tree falls, it's not going to softly fall. It makes sound. First sound Putanam, second sound Satakasura, third sound Tinavarta. He also fell from the sky. Boom. And then now also again the sound. Again tension for Yashoda. What is this sound again? What happened to my son? She came running, saw this two big tree was well. By the time Nanda Maharaj was there. Nanda Maharaj saw this and he saw that his son was tied to the rope. He became mad. He said, who did this job? And then Yashoda was there and she said, your son is so naughty like you. And don't talk about me. Yeah, your mother told everything about you. You are also like that. Your son is also like that. It's a big problem to handle you both. But how dare you can tie Krishna like this? And then Nanda Maharaj came and untied everything. And even though he untied, the mark was still there. The rope tied. Kanni nun chiruttama. Nun chiruttama means the thin rope mark was right there on his waist. Udaram. Therefore he called as Dāmodara. Then they all became very joyful, happy, and then untied Krishna. They went. So the point that as we have to end here in 2 minutes, what we learn from here is if we have bhakti, Krishna will only be bound by our bhakti, not by anything else. That's number one. Number two, the two trees that we have within our heart need to be rooted off. For the two trees to be rooted off, we have to let Krishna go inside our heart. If we are not letting Krishna go inside our heart, then the two trees is going to grow and grow and grow and destroy us. What are these two trees? Kama and Krodha. Kama, Krodha. This Kama means lust, Krodha means anger. This has to be destroyed. And let Krishna enter into my heart in this month of Kartik. Let Dāmodara enter into my heart to remove my Kamam and remove my Krodham. Because that is the biggest obstacle to understand Krishna, to release Krishna consciousness, to grow in Krishna consciousness. The third point we have to learn from here is who destroyed these two trees? Who pulled the two trees? Is a question. Acharya is asking this question. Did Krishna pull the two trees? Or did the rope pull the two trees? Or did the mortar pull the two trees? It's a question. How can you say only one of this did this one? Mortar is connected to the rope is connected to the Krishna. Krishna pull, rope pull, mortar pulls down the trees. Now the point here is, I can only be saved by Krishna is not necessarily a true statement. Right? I followed the feet of Vaishnava and let the Vaishnavas, the desire fulfilling tree, can fulfill my desire and remove all my anarthas. The devotees are the mortar. The devotees are connected to the greater devotees. The greater devotees are connected to Krishna. It's a parampara. Krishna saves us through his devotees. The mortar is representative. When we take shelter of his representative, when we take shelter of the Vaishnavas, we will be saved. We will be saved. And that is the message that we get. There are a lot of lessons we can learn from this one. These are some prominent, important messages that we learn from Dāmodara Līlā. Dāmodara Radha Dāmodara ki jai. Thank you all very much for staying for another 16 more minutes here. I'll let you all go because in another few more minutes, Bhagavatam is going to start. But if you have any questions, any discussion, any sharing, every day we have meetings, so we all can discuss there. Maybe I'll just take 1 minute, 2 minutes, if anyone wants to have or say anything. Okay. All right, we have things to take care now. We'll take care. Radha Dāmodara ki jai, Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai.